discuss about probability. In this, it is a part 1 where we are going to learn about introduction and its application. So in this part, we are going to learn the most basic concepts of probability. So the first basic concept is taking a chance. Let us understand this by taking an example. So we are going to choose a basket. So if you win, you will get $50,000. In case if you lose, you are going to pay $1,000. Okay, just again. Now what we can say, we can name it by one more thing. We can call this also as a risk. Why? Because here we are going to take a risk. What is the risk here? If we lose, we have to pay $1,000 back. Let us see the baskets. So it's the first basket, second, third, fourth and fifth baskets. Okay, let us randomly choose one of the basket. Okay, let me choose the second basket. So I lost. That means what? I have to pay $1,000. Right? Let us see. Let us choose another basket. Let me choose fourth basket. So I won. That means I won $50,000. See, let me click on all the baskets. You can see here. Right, out of 5 baskets, only one basket has a winner and rest all the baskets are of losing. So that means there are only 2 possible outcomes in this particular game. So which are those? Either you will lose or either you will win. If you win, you will take away $50,000. If you lose, you are going to pay $1,000. So this is a concept of taking a chance, or also we can say taking a risk. Let us go to the next concept. So next concept is regarding results or outcomes. Imagine we are going to toss a coin. So what are the outcomes? The outcomes are either head or a tail. So this head or tail are called as results or outcomes. Let us take another example. We'll take a die. If you roll a die, you all know that there are 6 faces in it. So we will get a 6 digits. Either it can be from 1 to 6. Okay, so here 1 to 6 are called as results, whereas in the previous, when you toss a coin, either head or tail are considered to be as a results. Okay, we can also call this as outcomes. Let us go to the next concept. So random experiment. What do you mean by a random experiment? Now we already know that when you toss a coin, you will get 2 results, and when you roll a die, you will get 6 results. And we don't have any control over these results. Correct? So we cannot say that I want only head every time. So it is not possible. Same way, I cannot say that every time when I roll a die, I should get 5. So it is not possible. Right? We don't have any control over the outcomes. We can say that the outcomes are not fixed. So that means there is no control on the outcomes. So such experiments are called as random experiment, because we don't know the result, and we can also say that every time we may not get the expected results. Okay, let us go to the next concept now. So equally likely. So what do you mean by equally likely? So just study this table over here. You can see here the number of tosses, tally marks, number of heads, tally marks and number of tails. Okay, so there are 50 tosses. We have got 27 heads and 23 tails. Same way, when you toss 60 times, we got 28 heads and 32 tails. Next one, when you toss 70 times, it is 33 and 37. Similarly, when you toss 100 times, it is 48 and 52. And each time what you can say that this number of heads and number of tails are very close to each other. So as you increase the number of tosses, means if you go for 1,000 tosses or 10,000 tosses, what happens? The number of heads and number of tails becomes very close to each other. So what we can say that? We can say that they are almost equal. So such outcomes are called as equally likely. Most specifically, we can say that the outcomes has the same chance of occurring. Okay, let us continue with the next topic. So it is chance and probability. Now is the chance and probability are related? Okay, let us see. What is chance? Chance is most commonly used in day-to-day life. See, whenever we go out, imagine it's a rainy season. Okay, we will say that there is a maximum chance of raining. We can say that there is a maximum chance of raining today. We don't say that there is a probability of raining today. That means this chance is nothing but a probability, but it is used in day-to-day life. Then what about probability? Probability is nothing but chance, right? So probability is a mathematical term used in the place of a chance. So by this what we can understand, chance and probabilities are nothing but they are the same. Let us go to the next one. So outcomes and events. What are the outcomes? In an experiment, getting an outcome makes an event. What do you mean by this? For example, you roll a die. Okay, when you roll a die, you got an outcomes. What do you got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, they make an event. Okay, so in next sentence you can see that also collection of outcomes makes an event. Toss a coin, we will get head and tail. This head and tail are called as outcomes, and we can call head also as an event and tail also as an event, and also call head and tail together also as an event. Okay, so when you roll a die, as I told you before, it is same thing, correct? So let us go to the next concept. There are two types of events. Okay, let us go to the first type. So first type is nothing but elementary event. What does this elementary event say? An outcome of a random experiment. So let us consider a coin. Okay, you tossed a coin. When you toss a coin one time, we will get only two results. What are they? Head and the tail. This head and tail are called as elementary events, correct? Head is a one elementary event and tail is another elementary event. Similarly, when you toss two coins, right? Or we can say one coin tossed two times or two coins tossed one time. What are the results we will get? See, both the coins can give you head. One coin can give you head and the other can give you tail. Both can give you tail, or it can give you tail and head. So here, the first one, head and head, is also an elementary event. Same way, head and tail and tail, and tail and head. So these all are called as elementary events. Let us go to the next example where we are going to toss one coin 3 times. Okay, we are going to toss one coin 3 times, or we can say 3 coins are tossed one time. When you do so, these are the results what we get. We can also get all the coins can give you head, and first 2 coins can give you head and the last one can give you tail. Similarly, head, tail, tail, and tail, 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 right? You can go through with this. Now you can see the first coin can give you head, second coin can give you tail, the third coin can give you head. So these all what you are seeing, they are called as elementary events. So individual outcomes are considered to be as an elementary event in the first type. Let us go to the second type. Okay, and here also you can see that we can also consider an example of a die over here that will take in the next example. That will take in the next type. So in the second type, we call this as a compound event. So this is defined as an event obtained by combining 2 or more elementary events of the same experiment. Let us see. As we know in the previous step that when you toss one coin 3 times or 3 coins one time, these are the results what we get, correct? Now here this HHH, HHT, HTT, and also THT and HTH. So these all things are called as elementary events, correct? When you combine any of these two events, for example, take it as, so when you combine triple H and this HHT together, it becomes a compound event, correct? Or imagine you are combining TTT and TTH, so that also becomes a compound event. That means when you combine 2 elementary events, it falls under compound events. Let us see the next one. So example, getting 2 heads. If I take an example of getting 2 heads, which all will give you 2 heads? See, first one will not give, the second one will give you 2 heads, and the last one will give you 2 heads, and THH will give you 2 heads. Okay, so these 3 elementary events are combined. So it goes under compound events. Getting a minimum one tail. Minimum one tail means you can get maximum 3 tails, right? So that means you can say that this element HHT, HTT, TTT, TTH and THH and THT and also HTH. So we can take all these as a outcomes. These all fall under compound event. Okay, now the last one, getting at most 3 heads, means maximum you can get 3 heads, minimum you can get no head also, right? That means in this case we can consider all the elementary events together. So that goes under a compound event. Let us take another example where we are going to roll a die. So when you roll a die, we know that the outcomes are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So what are the compound events in this? Getting an even number. Okay, if you consider the first one, getting an even number, that means 2, 4, 6, means 3 elementary events are combined. When you go for getting a number more than 3 means again it goes to 4, 5, 6, correct? Again 3 elements are included. So when you go to the last one, that getting a prime number, that also includes 2, 3 and 5. Again it includes 3 elements, correct? We can say 3 elementary events. So this falls under a compound event. So I hope you have understood the difference between the compound event and the elementary event. So elementary event includes only one, whereas compound event includes more than one elementary events. Let us go to the next topic now, which is probability. Now so far we have discussed about the basic concepts. Now we are going for the definition of probability. So you can see here, the probability means number of outcomes that makes an event. That means it can be a compound event or it can be an elementary event, and by the total number of outcomes. That means when you conduct an experiment, we will get certain number of outcomes. For example, when you roll a die, we will have a 6 outcomes, correct? And the events are getting a prime number is an event, getting an even number is an event, and getting an odd number is an event. So these all fall under the events. There is one condition, that the outcomes are equally likely. So that we already studied in the first slide. Let us see an example on this. The 2 unbiased coins are tossed together. Find the probability of getting a head. Okay, unbiased coins means there is no difference in the coins. Okay, so when you roll 2 coins together, we will get outcomes as head and head, head and tail, tail and tail, and tail and head. And the total number of outcomes over here are 4. And the number of heads in the experiment, okay, is 2, correct? So what we can say, the number of one head in the experiment. Okay, that's what it means, right? Find the probability of getting a head, means only one head we need, not 2 heads. So what is the probability? So P of E indicates here probability of an event. What is an event here? Getting a head is an event. So that is 2 by 4, 1 by 2, which is equal to 0.5. So some important points we need to remember here. The first important point is sum of probability of elementary events is always equal to 1. Okay. Then probability of a sure event. What do you mean probability of sure event? For example, so when you roll a die getting a single digit number, it is possible, correct? Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are the single digit. So that's a sure event. The probability of an impossible event is 0. That means imagine I am rolling a die. I will say that probability of getting 7. So 7 is not at all possible. Why? Because generally a die has a 6 faces and 6 digits, that is 1 to 6. So 7 it won't have. That's why the probability of this is 0. Why? Because it is impossible. Last one, the sum of probability of each outcome in an means if you consider the probability of every event and if you add them up, it will add up to 1. Okay, I hope you have understood. For if you want to understand it better, you can. Thank you.